5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. This book will help you to own your morning and elevate your life. All right. So today we're reviewing chapter 4 of this book. Yesterday, we read the story, that is chapter 3, titled An Unexpected Encounter with a Surprising Stranger. Right. So the three strangers are the entrepreneur who was sidelined from her business and was about to end it all, but decided to attend this conference. Then the artist who came there so that he could fuel the passion of his creativity. And then the homeless man who kept on surprising everybody. He appeared to be homeless, but then he kept on speaking highly of himself and how rich and prosperous he was. So the three of them were actually chatting, talking about what they learned from the seminar where the spellbinder was a speaker. So chapter 4 says, letting go of mediocrity and all that is ordinary. And there is a quote here by Lewis Carroll, you know, which says, why? Sometimes I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. Maybe you are also one who have believed so many impossible things. Well, let's go straight into chapter 4. Chapter 4 is still about the entrepreneur, the artist, and the homeless man. They kept on talking about what they learned from the speech of the spellbinder, and in the process they also brought in some touches of their personal lives. There are so many lessons to learn from this chapter 4, the book in general. Right, so I want you to be open-minded so that you can actually pick this. It sounds like a story. It seems like, oh, they are telling a story, but they are dropping nuggets, lessons, profound words that are capable of bringing you out of that ordinary life into the extraordinary life, right? So the homeless man asked the painter, you're a painter, and all of that. And the painter said, yes, I'm a frustrated painter. And the homeless man started talking about how he had, lots of art in his home in Zurich, how he bought a place in an expensive area, how he would usually make the best winning moves to create the life that he had crafted, and that in his business he would only allow top players because he had an A-level company, and he wouldn't allow C-level performers to come and ruin his company. And he said that they would only release products that totally disrupt the market, products that truly catered to their clients, that enriched the lives of their clients, and would make it impossible for their clients to go anywhere else. I hope you're picking lessons from this, right? He had an A-level company, so he wouldn't employ C-level performance. He would also go for A-level performers that would elevate his company. And they were so intentional about creating products that enriched the life of their clients. That means they were not all about the money, all about the profit. They were also touching lives positively. And he said he applied the same thing to his personal life. He only ate the best food, although he didn't eat a lot. He only read the most original and thoughtful books. He spent his time in the most light-filled and inspiring of spaces. He was very mindful about the people he surrounded himself with when it comes to his relationship. He only surrounds himself with human beings who fuel his joy, who stoke his peace, who excite him to become a better man. Because he said life is too valuable to hang with people who don't get you, people who don't vibe with you, people who are not pushing you forward to become a better version of yourself. So you have to roll with people who have the same mindset, the same heart set, health set, and soul set with you, because your environment has a powerful and profound effect, influence on your life, on your productivity, on your performance as a whole. These were words from the homeless man. I hope that these words are speaking to you as well. Then on the bracelet that the entrepreneur was wearing, there is a phrase on it that says, turn I can't into I can't. And there is another phrase that says, done is better than perfect. It is better you start doing something and get better at it with time than to wait until everything is perfect before you start. Because the truth is that you may never start, and always find the way to turn I can't into I can. Turn impossible into possible. Right. So the artist said, well, I've heard of mindset, but he has never heard of heart set, health set, soul set. Have you heard of those words as well? Heart set, soul set, health set. I'm sure many of us have only heard mindset, but what about all this? And the homeless man said, well, these are words that are not common in the world. They are revolutionary concepts. If everybody knew and understood these words, nobody is going to be ordinary in life. Everybody is going to be great. But a lot of people are not making it in life because they don't understand this revolutionary concept. Most times we only focus on mindset. Oh, we have the same mindset. Oh, this is my mindset. Have a mindset shift. But what about soul set? You don't want to move with people who don't vibe with the kind of soul that you have. Health set, heart set, and all of this. Right. Okay. So the homeless man continued. He said, it takes a single morning filled with positivity to deliver a monumental download of inventive ideas that elevate an entire generation. That means if you can get your morning right, if your morning can be positive, impactful, then there is a high chance that the rest of the day is going to be positive, going to be highly impactful. And he also tells us, talking to the entrepreneur and the artist, that the real purpose of commerce is not only to make your personal fortune. The true reason is to be in the game. The true reason to be in the game is to be helpful to society. According to the homeless man, his own main focus in business is to serve. And while he's serving, money, power, and prestige are the byproducts of his service. They are the byproducts, the kind of rewards that he gets while he's serving other people. So it's not just about profit. It's not just about money. If you are into any kind of business, try to serve humanity. You don't need to scam anybody. You don't need to make people cry. You don't need to promise what you cannot deliver. And you really do not need to deceive anybody. Make sure that people are happy. Because like he said earlier, that is what makes people keep coming back to him, to his company. They don't even want to go to his competitors. Right. And then there is also this words written on his wristwatch that says, own your morning, elevate your life. Own your morning, elevate your life. If you can take charge of your morning, then you can possibly elevate your life. There are so many words. You know, I'm just going to try, maybe not rush, but a little faster. The homeless man, he is full of profound words. Let's listen to this. He said, you too each have a hero inside of you. You knew this as a child before adults told you to limit your powers, shackle your genius, and betray the truth of your heart. And he said, adults are deteriorated children. When we were much younger, when we were children, we used to enjoy the simple things of life. We used to be unashamed. We used to be free. We used to be alive. And then we suddenly became adults and we don't want to do those things again. So many of us are faking it in life. We are not truly living. We are living to impress other people. We are living for validation. If we are not getting that validation, we think that we are not living an impactful life. That is one of the scams of being an adult. There is a saying that adulthood is a scam. Maybe now I agree to an extent. Because you become an adult, you're not doing those things that you love doing when you were a child. When you were a child, you would tell yourself, oh, I'm going to become this, I'm going to become that. You could share your dreams with anybody, even if they were unpopular. You could share your opinions. You could speak your mind. You could enjoy the relationships of simple people, humble people. But now that you have become an adult, you have become too conscious of yourself. Oh my God, I'm just trying this sticker. You have become too conscious of yourself, and you have accepted so many lies that the society is telling you, that the internet is telling you. Too many lies. You have limited your own power, your own free will, your own abilities and capabilities by everything that is going on around you. The homeless man continued. He said, guys, I've been through a lot, been knocked down and kicked around a ton by life. I've been sick, been attacked, been abused, been misused. Hey, I'm sounding like a country song. Yeah, but he said, anyway, it's all good. Pain is the doorway into deep. And tragedy is nature's great purifier. It burns away the fakeness, fear, and arrogance that is of the ego. So suffering yields many rewards, including empathy, originality, relatability, authenticity. He said he had dreams and he had nightmares, but he was able to conquer his nightmares because of his dreams. That means his dreams, his passion, his purpose were all greater than his fears, than his timidity. There is so much power inside of you. And as he was talking, the entrepreneur, the lady, said that is just what she needed to hear. Even though she felt like this homeless man looked like somebody who had lived in a cardboard, or who lives in a cardboard on the streets. But you should listen to his words. Sometimes he speaks like a poet. Sometimes they wonder why he's so articulate. Where does he get all this kind of wisdom from? How is he so vast in knowledge? Right. And the artist also said, you asked me what I like most about the seminar. And he said one thing. He said, one who sweats. This is one thing that the spellbinder talks about. One who sweats more in training bleeds less in war. And he also liked the line that says, high victory is made in those early morning hours when no one is watching and while everyone else is sleeping. So let's take the first one. One who sweats more in training bleeds less in war. That means you should put in more effort into developing yourself if you don't want to suffer later in life. That's just like the literal meaning I can give to it. If you sweat more now that you are young, now that you are still very active, if you put in the work, the hard work, put in all the efforts, make all the sacrifices now, sweat it out now, any which way you want to sweat it out, so that later in life you can live a soft life. You don't have to suffer by that time. So don't misplace your priorities. If you try to enjoy now, hardship will wait later. But go through the suffering and the hardship now, so that later you can enjoy your life. And own your morning. Don't allow your morning to waste away. High victory is made in those early hours when no one is watching, while everyone is sleeping. Wake up and do the needful. Read a page of a book. Pray. Read your Bible. Do your exercise. Meditate. Journal. Write down how your day will look like, what you want to achieve. And surprisingly, the entrepreneur said that he never heard the spellbinder talk about these things. And the homeless man quickly reminded him, we only hear what we are ready to hear. Isn't it true? Selective hearing, selective listening. You say something these days, somebody just speaks a line, and then they are antagonizing you for that. People hear what they choose to hear. That's the truth, and you cannot help them. And as they were talking, thankfully, the voice of the spellbinder suddenly rang out. So here it is established that the spellbinder did not die. But then they continued with their conversation. And one of them, I think the entrepreneur, said, in a culture, no, it was the artist. Remember that he had recorded everything the spellbinder said word for word, and now he's playing it. This part reads, in a culture of cyber zombies, addicted to distraction and afflicted with interruption, the wisest way to guarantee that you consistently produce mastery level results in the most important areas of your professional and personal life is to install a world-class morning routine. They keep on talking about this morning routine. I don't know how your morning is, but for me, my morning routine is more intentional, and I am so happy about that. It is not easy because I used to say, well, I'm not a morning person. I'm more of a nocturnal person. I can work late into the night. Just leave me. Let me be doing my work. I work late into the night when everywhere is quiet, when the children are in bed. In fact, since I was much younger, even when I was in school, I could read like all through the night. I enjoy it. And then I can spend the early hours of the day sleeping, resting, relaxing if I don't have anywhere to go to early in the morning. Right. I prefer to work like that all night. But these days, of course, I have to go to work during the day. So I try my best to go to bed early, sometimes still late, but I'm building that discipline to say, irrespective of the time that I go to bed, I must wake up at this time. My alarm wakes me up. And no, I don't turn it off. I wake up. I force myself out of bed. If you don't force yourself, you will never get out of bed, because it is in those early hours of the morning that sleep is the sweetest, right? You would really want to sleep. That's when the sleep is really, really sweet. So you really have to force yourself. You have to own your morning. Develop that world-class morning routines. Try it. Start trying it little by little. Maybe tomorrow, try and wake up 30 minutes earlier, and then the next day, until you're able to start waking up at 5 a.m. Yes. I know somebody who wakes up at 4 a.m., but he goes to bed at 9 a.m. If you call his phone at 9 a.m., he's going to be unavailable. He doesn't attend to anybody. That is the discipline that he has built around his own routine. And you too can do the same thing. And they keep talking. These are the spellbinder's words. He says, wage a war against weakness. That weakness that wants you to remain an ordinary person, wage a war against it. Launch a campaign against fearfulness. You truly can get up early. You can. And doing so is a necessity in your awesome pursuit towards legendary. Take excellent care of the front end of your day, and the rest of your day will pretty much take care of itself. Own your morning. Elevate your life. The sun must not rise up before you. Get up and do the needful. If you think you are not having enough sleep, then start going to bed early. And here is the precious little secret that the titans of industry, the standout performers of artistry, and the ultra achievers of humanity will never share with you. Here's the secret. Gargantuan results are much less about your inherited genetics and far more about your daily habits. We have read Atomic Habits in this club, this reading club. Yes, the habits that you form are the ones that make your life. It's not you waiting until you're able to do one extraordinary thing once in a while. No, it is the daily habits that actually form your core, that make you become who you are, or who you are supposed to be, or who you are not. And your morning ritual is by far the most essential one to calibrate and then automate. Sometimes when we see excellent people in action, people who are doing so well, people who are prosperous, people who are winning in life, we think that maybe they are lucky, or maybe they inherited it, or maybe it's in their DNA, or maybe life just smiled at them. No, what we do not see is the habits that they've been building over time, the sacrifices that they've been making, the efforts that they are putting in. You see a sportsman who is winning. Think of Usain Bolt, winning almost every race, and you are wondering, must be so lucky. His parents must be so lucky. His parents must have been great athletes and all of that. You don't see the preparation, the effort that he puts into his craft. behind the sin, the sleepless nights, the tears, the pain, the toil, the sacrifices. We don't see all of that. We regard to people as being lucky. We envy their lives. There is a saying that don't envy the glory if you don't know the story. That is exactly how it is. Can you do what they are doing? Can you even do 1/10 of what they are doing? Maybe if you can do 1/10, your life will be a lot better than it is right now. But no, you want to sleep, you want to snooze, you want to have it easy. They will tell you, take it easy, take it easy. It's not by hard work, it's not by this, it's not by that. They are deceiving you. It is by hard work, it is by pain, it is by sweat, it is by blood, sacrifices, untold hardship that you will come across on your journey to success. But if you want to escape them, all well and good, it's not a problem. But life will serve you what you deserve. That's the way it works. So don't look at anybody and say, oh, they are lucky. And remember that every professional was once an amateur and every master started as a beginner. Ordinary people can accomplish extraordinary feats once they've routinized the right habits. I'm tempted to stop here, but I'll soon stop in less than 5 minutes. Start being an imaginationalist. Think about your future. Just sit down. Don't talk to anybody. Push your phone away and think about your life. You need to do it from time to time. These things are not easy. They're not going to happen on a platter of gold. It comes with a lot of hard work. At least I can tell you categorically. Is it days of crying? Is it days of feeling helpless and hopeless? Feeling like giving up? But you pick up yourself. You keep pushing. You try again. You go again. That's the way it works. Spending our hours in a way that enriches the life of others is also another thing. Don't live for yourself alone. To live in hearts we leave behind is not to die. When you make an impact, you never die. You are just translated to glory. But the people that you've impacted, they will never forget you. You forever live in their hearts, and that is the true way to live. Each of us truly has been built to make history in our own authentic way. You can be excellent as a teacher, as a coach, as a marketer, as an entrepreneur, as a hairdresser. You can be excellent at what you do. You can become a hero or a heroine. You can live an extraordinary life. Don't compare yourself to anybody. It's not until you become a doctor or an engineer or all those lofty professions that we regard to be lofty. In your own chosen career, in your own craft, choose to be extraordinary. Choose to be excellent. Even as a mother, as a father, choose to stand out. This is the fact. It is the truth. Do things that will make you to be remembered by future generations. Lead a life that truly matters. That is what is important in life. Not seeking validation. Not looking for money every now and then. We all want to reassess our birthright of towering talents, limitless joy and freedom from fear. Wage a war against fear, against limitation, against everything that is holding you back. Own your life, own your money. Stop chasing trivial things, artificial amusements. Start living the real life. What's the point of spending your best mornings and potentially productive days climbing mountains that you realize were the wrong ones when you are frail and wrinkled? Be intentional about your life. Yesterday we read a quote that says, don't live your life as if you still have 10,000 years. If you run with this mentality, it will help you to be intentional with your choices and your decisions every single day. And that is just the truth. So the entrepreneur finds all these things to resonate with him and with her rather. And she said she always has a bad morning. She wakes up checking her phone. She goes to bed still checking her phone. She's just so addicted to her phone. It messes up her day. She cannot take charge and it's really draining her. I'm sure some of us here can relate. There is so much noise in her head. It feels so complicated. She doesn't even have time for herself. No time for real bonding with real people. No time for authentic relationships, to build quality networks because of technology, even though it has its own advantages. But if you misuse it, then it's going to drain you. You become a tech zombie, a cyber zombie. You really cannot get real stuff done. But she said she's dealing with it. So if you fall into this category, start dealing with it as well. Then she said that in her company, when her company was still in its glory days, she had to let go of people that she really liked, people that started well with her. But unfortunately, she had to make the tough decision of letting them go because they were not adding to the growth of the company anymore. They have become complacent. A lot of people get somewhere, they become so complacent. They're not bringing anything new to the table. And sometimes it makes her feel bad. But the homeless man is telling her not to feel bad about it. She remember that the job of the leader is to help disbelievers embrace your vision, the powerless to overcome their weaknesses, and the hopeless to develop faith. So, if you have to let go of your employees that are no longer bringing anything into the table, they no longer fit where your business is at right now. It's a normal part of growing a business. It's a normal part of growth. Even in your personal relationships, you cannot keep on hanging with people that are not getting you anywhere out of sentiment, or you don't want to offend them. So they keep on tagging along. They are dragging you back. It's a tough decision that you need to make. If at this point you are not used to making tough decisions, having tough conversations, then you are not a leader. You have to be making tough conversations. It is tough. It is going to hurt people's feelings. You have to find a way to say it, to present it in the best way possible. But you just have to do the needful. You cannot keep on living your life by sentiment. You want to be in everybody's good books. They're going to pull you down. These people are not adding to you. They are draining you. But you want them to always be a part of your life. There is an adage in Yoruba that says 20 children cannot play for 20 years. If they are no longer serving you, they are no longer adding to your life, why do you want to keep holding on to them? Let them go. People come into your life for a season and for a reason. So the homeless man encouraged her that way. That it is not her fault. She should not blame herself. These people just stopped learning. They stopped inventing. They stopped it. And as a result, they stopped being awesome value incubators. So the blame is not on the entrepreneur. It is their own fault. So if you are not forging ahead in life, you are not growing, you have become so complacent, you are not even adding anything new. Since you graduated from school, what new knowledge have you added to yourself? You don't read, you don't attend any course, you don't even use Google, you don't go on YouTube to learn. Free resources are everywhere in this digital age. You don't make use of them. Your knowledge has become obsolete. You have become archaic mentally. Then you still expect people to hire you and pay you so much? No. They will not pay you. They will only pay you what they think you are worth for the value that you bring to the table. That's the way it works. Right? So the people will leave you behind if they see that you are not delivering results. After all, as a business owner, why would you be paying somebody who is not adding anything to your business? They're not bringing growth, nothing, no innovation. And if you think that everything seems under control for you, nothing is pursuing you, you are not pursuing anything, you are just at ease, then there is a problem. You need to go and shake yourself up. You need to go and meet people that will challenge you, that will bring you out of your shell and out of your comfort zone and push you into greatness. That is what you need. Right, we're going to stop here today. This is an awesome book, honestly. If you don't have a copy, go and get a copy. This review will not do justice enough. You need to get a copy, and the reviews will just be like the icing on the cake. Right, thank you so much. Don't forget to like this video, share your comments with me, and please subscribe to this channel in case you are yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. I'll come your way again tomorrow by God's grace as we conclude chapter 4. Right, this is the book we're currently reading and reviewing. We are the Intentional Readers Club, in case you're new here, the 5 a.m. club. We read and review books. All right, take good care. I'll see you tomorrow by God's grace. Until then, be intentional. Bye. Yes, so go for deliverance. Thank you, the water. You're welcome.